one in, one out the other. 48th episode. Who would have thought it? And I'm joined today by Luke. Luke is our operations director. We're going to be walking around, and we're going to have a chat with some guys. I'm going to talk about a little bit about the operations. If you're just joining us, this is this is a channel that we do every day from 1 p.m. and we're an IT distribution company. IT distribution company based in the UK and going for almost 14 years now. So yeah, we're going to go into it. Luke as well.
First time we've done a dual presentation as well, isn't it?
JLC
Team.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's good. It's good. I feel like we've had some good back and forth, I think, over the time.
Yeah, so it'd be good to actually present a full episode together.
Yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, we got a question straight in from Kelly.
Yeah, shoot.
Okay.
She says she's heard you've had a little bit of a promotion.
Yeah.
And do you have any new responsibilities?
Oh, great question, Kyle.
That is a good question. So since I've had the promotion, this week's actually been really busy. Just in general with what we've got, we're pushing obviously more devices now, and there's a lot more process change in the warehouse in terms of our returns policy, how we store the high value devices. Also, we're adapting our products procedure to get our suppliers listed on IceCat easier. So I've actually been a lot busier this week since getting that promotion, but that's just coincidence, I think. But it just goes to show that this is the new norm. We are busier. This month's been a really busy month in the warehouse. And you can see all the different areas growing, and my role is expanding even already, like before that was even announced. So yeah,
that's good. Well, look, I'm glad we've got somebody on it because of course we're opening up with more devices. We're going to have a higher stock load here, which means ultimately we need to be prepared for that eventuality.
Yeah,
and certainly it's the way the business is going to get. But Kelly, that's a great question.
She would also like to know who else was promoted this week.
So we also
Ricky.
Yeah,
Ricky's our new sales director. Ricky as well. Ricky Dillon. Congrats. Who else? Anyone else? Owen?
Owen was already head of European sales, so that was just communicated out.
Yeah.
Beak, yeah, of course.
Beak, of course. Beak, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. Beak is our now deputy managing director. Yeah, look at that. We've had a whole career level up at JLC. It's good as well.
Yeah.
And obviously, do you know what, Luke? Actually, I remember, and I wanted to say, obviously, I was going to say it aside of this, but remember when we went to a cafe? I think we were going to go to like Las Vegas or something.
Yeah.
Went to the cafe in Portishead, and we had that epic breakfast.
Yeah.
And then you're like, "What are you going to do? What do you want, man? Like, what do you want out of this?" And you were like, "Oh, I want to be like a director. I want to be like."
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you told me that, man, and you did it.
Oh, fair play.
And that was like 3 years, maybe.
Well, I only been 2.5 years. So that would have been.
Okay. So
2 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, mate, that was great. I mean, and that wasn't very long into your tenure, so.
No. I say you always got to set the bar high and just go for it, get your head down, and just believe you're gonna do it. Just keep working hard. It's obviously difficult at times, like challenges, but you just got to keep trying. Yeah,
I think it is good. I think it's good as well because obviously you're quite a job on your hand when you came in and when you joined JLC, right? So talk to us like a little bit about how it was before, and that's not to throw shade on like where we were before. Of course, we grew very quickly. And I think the time when Luke joined us, we were at our biggest, I would say, because there was that time after the pandemic, after COVID. That's when you kind of joined us, right?
2022, yeah, April 2022.
Yeah, so we'd already had that kind of uplift from COVID as everyone did in our industry. So you kind of joined us. So talk to us a little bit about the transition.
So I think, firstly, when I arrived, the then warehouse team leader, I said, right, what's happening here? Because it was like chaotic, and she couldn't provide me like with the numbers, like, right, how much do you do every month? Like, how much do you do every hour? Like, what's like the workflow look like of the warehouse and each department? And I wasn't really given an answer, so I was trying to unpick it for the first few weeks of what was going on. I remember we were quite far behind like the first week on like getting end of month orders out, and I'd say generally it's just the process change that I would say how it was at the start compared to now, because we can actually like track what we're doing and we have some kind of control. Because if you don't know how many orders you're doing, you don't know, like, say your staff costs, things like that, then how are you gonna successfully know where you improve? You've got no kind of measuring stick to know where you're from. So I'd probably say it's that, because now we have a lot more control over, say, like dead stock. I get that reported to me, what we can do to minimize our losses with that, how much the operation costs to run every year, every month, and just little KPIs like that. So I'd say just more control over the operation.
And I guess it's obvious areas as well, isn't it? But it's areas that can be overlooked quite easily. certainly like as when we were when we started this and it was small, we just didn't know that these things were going to have to play. We were just going to try and tackle each month as it comes and just try and get through the next month. And now that we've got that data, and now that you understand that data, we can adjust and measure our trajectory a lot more clearer, and you can then explain that to then everyone else, and then everyone else that's not in your operations department as well.
Yeah, so it also helps with the sales department as well, because the fact that, say, Arthur for me does a great job in keeping an eye on these like stock levels, what's not selling, what we're over ordering. We can then use that knowledge to actually go back to purchasing and say, right, do we need to order all this, say, X amount of product if we're not selling it and stocking it? And then we uncover the answers from the stock take. So when we're doing the counts and we say this item hasn't moved in 2 years, we can then give that information back to sales, so you guys can then push those dead products, and we can obviously learn from our mistakes not to order it in so many in the future. So when we come to stock take, we've got all these dormant products, so it benefits the sales massively as well, having this control. So definitely, yeah, positive all round.
Yeah, definitely. And like from sales, I know what sales can be like. We're, upstairs, we're like, no, get it in. We've got a big deal. It's coming in. Trust me. You got to take that with a pinch of salt, haven't you?
Yeah.
If we had a pound every time we probably have 2 warehouses now. If sales had their way. And I'm speaking from sales, so I'm a bit biased.
Stock, we all know salespeople just say stock is king.
Yeah.
And for me, stock's not king if it's blocking up my warehouse.
Yeah. So
it's a happy medium, isn't it?
It's the age-old rivalry between operations and sales. I think when businesses focus on top heavy sales rather than product, then that's where you're gonna have the issue there. Of course, like everyone wants to chase the money, everyone wants to want to do well as a business. We want to like focus on sales, but this is just as important. This is why, Luke, you have a dedicated day every Wednesday to discuss the operations of JLC and ever evolving.
But it's interesting as well, because from your point of view, if you have more stock, that's great, because you can go to the customer and say, oh, we've got all these items in stock. But from like an operations point of view, which maybe might not have been seen before, the more products we have, if we can't successfully locate those products and find them easily, then that's eventually going to result in more picking errors and mistakes going to the customer. So they're going to be more irate about getting an order that's incorrect, rather than we down here want to make sure it goes out first time correctly. So we offer a really good service as well. So we're not just saying, oh, we've got stock, we're just going to get it out to you. We want to make sure that the customer experience is spot on as well, and we get things right.
Bang on. Yeah, totally. I think as well, you had a challenge on your hands. You had to predate and pre-catalog all of the products that we had ordered in. So like more often than not, stock is king, right? So obviously our customers want stock, but if we can't account and can't catalog and can't advertise and run into all of our feeds like IceCat and CNET. I think it's not CNET. It's called
not
CNET.
anymore. Yeah.
What's called?
OneTrail.
OneTrail. There we go. Testing your knowledge. And if we can't feed in correctly into those kind of into those feeds and stuff, then the stock is useless. And then over time as well, if that product then becomes end of life, or the product that the case is for whatever reason, then it becomes a dead weight, which we have to get rid of, and which we have had to do on a number of occasions.
Yeah, that's it. We do write off. We wrote off quite a lot of stock last year.
It's a shame
to make room for the new stuff. So
yeah.
Just the way it is. But I said it's all a learning curve. Like a small company, going to be £100 million company eventually. These are the kind of learning steps we do along the way, isn't it? And things you haven't seen in the past, like we learn from that and we fix it for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
On to a nice question from Kelly.
Yeah.
What is the most challenging part of both your roles?
You first.
I'd probably say the people side of things. Not that we've got bad people or anything like that, but a lot of people, when you work with people, not everyone is kind of like emotionally stable, if that's the right thing to say. Some people you work with are going to be quite emotional and bring things in from like home, and you can't control that. So you might have people coming in that might be angry, upset at something at home.
We're all human beings, right?
We're all human beings, and as a manager, you've got to deal with that and appreciate that people have got those things going on at home and might not be performing maybe a task how you want it to, but you've got to take into like consideration those factors that are going on, and that can be difficult sometimes, because you might have to give that person a little bit of leeway, whereas to the rest of the team they'll be like, oh, why are they getting an easier day or whatever, and they're like, oh, why are you getting that perk? But only I know
relay that information.
I can't relay that information. I have to keep that to myself, because I've had the conversation trying to help them out, say personally, while the rest of them thinking, oh, they're the favourite of the manager. So that's probably the hardest thing, trying to keep an even keel and make it look even to everybody.
Yeah, that does sound pretty tough, to be fair, because we are all human, and we all got things going on, and it's hard to relay that. But you need to be completely like almost not emotional, but also show empathy as well when empathy is
that
needed.
is literally it. I've got to show no emotion myself,
Yeah,
but be empathetic.
be empathetic.
That's exactly it. That is the hard part.
Yeah,
because sometimes it can look like I'm heartless, but no, you have to keep
it. Never, you never said, you didn't seem heartless. On my side, okay. Sales, I mean, look, sales is tough. I wake up sometimes in sort of the middle of the night thinking about sales, thinking about my own figures, thinking about the team's figures as well, the company's figures, where we're at. Obviously, just the constant, like if you have a really good month, we have like a good quarter, it's then having to beat that again and keep consistency. I'm always worried that my customers, the competition is always on my mind. There's always people out there like me doing what I do, and of course that always plays on my mind. If I see like a good relationship, I think, you see it on LinkedIn as well. LinkedIn's a big one. You see all of our competitors going out doing their thing as well, which is fair play. You've got to throw credit, and I'll never throw shade on them because they're ultimately doing what we're doing. But you can't help but think, am I getting everything from my customer? You never know. You never know. So I would say the competition, but again, you could use that as a positive. That's the thing that drives me and think to be my best. Like I said on the show as well. It's always good to have competition. It brings the best out of you. So competition. I also just generally like keeping up the momentum, keeping a pace as well, juggling my own things as well. So I've got obviously this show, and it's not stressing me. I enjoy this. It's quite fun. But this as well as new business as well. So I'm looking after new business, new revenues, new source of revenue for the business, and my own personal stuff. So yeah, just juggling all of that. I'd say it was pretty tough.
James says it's great to see you both on the live together.
Welcome, James. Of course, thank you.
And he's actually got some really good questions for you both.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll start with
oh, here we go.
Jack. Actually,
yeah.
What's your favourite thing about Luke?
And I already know what the next question is. Right, what's my favourite thing about Luke? Okay, so there are many, but I would say, Luke, you're very analytical. But to the point where it's not emotional, but you can be. I know you have that side to you, but you split down the middle. Like you can call it. So, for example, I know that you're very different outside of work than you are inside of work, and I know that, and I say that in the way that it's meant. It's very good. So very analytical, very driven. I mean, you're crazy with data. It's something that I can't comprehend, and I know you're the man for the job. So I admire you. So that's what. And there might have been a few things there, but that's one.
Luke, what's your favourite thing about Jack?
I knew that was there.
I think Jack is someone good to have in the team. He's always positive. So even if it's a bad situation, I have seen you flap a few times actually, but in general, he's always positive, and I think that's really good in the work environment because positivity like radiates from you, and everyone around you will be positive as well. So I think Jack's positivity and energy is his best attribute.
Yeah, cool. All right, that's lovely. Thank you. Do we have any more?
Kelly would like to know what's your biggest order in terms of numbers of products sold? One order.
Oh, I know.
One for you, probably.
Yeah, it's it's a great. I love talking about this one because it's
yours, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's not mine. It was not mine actually. It's not mine. You'd be very surprised at this. It wasn't mine. It was actually our Joel Seeger. We sold over it was about 99,600. We always say 100,000 because it sounds good, but it was about 99,600 headsets. We're going to every school in Wales. It was a monster. It was absolutely crazy. I didn't think it was. Were you here?
I don't remember that.
No, I mean you definitely would have known.
Yeah, I would have known that.
It would have been like this, but like the boxes was just insane. You would have had a head fit. But we did it. We absolutely clubbed. I mean, we'd done something similar. We'd done something for about 30,000 before. It was a custom project, but this project was a headset that we needed to tailor, and it was actually the headset I talk about on my show. It's the connected headset. That's the 2.0, but it was the first edition, the first limit, the edition of that one, and that was the biggest one we'd seen. I don't know if you've seen any large ones during your tenure.
No, nothing like that. No, nothing like that. I think that the biggest turnover of an order, I think must be about 50, 60 I've seen.
Yeah.
And I can't think what it was, but I think remember it was around that figure.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like getting those kinds of orders in and getting them out, what are the stresses there? What?
So to be honest, those orders are actually quite easy. So if it's one big order for one product, they come in one hit, and it's just the manpower. So we might have to just start the guys early to get them to finish late. but it's pretty straightforward, because if it's, say, like a big order of sleeves, they normally are, let's say, big bulk orders, nice and easy to pack. It's one item.
Yeah.
The only thing you've got to worry about is your counting. You don't have to worry. It's not mix and match loads of products.
Yeah.
Probably something like, it's like a 10-line order that's loads of different cables is probably harder than a great big hundreds of sleeves.
I say like more meticulous, like slightly like, yeah. You'd rather one big order than like 100 small orders, the different ones, because that's where the errors can happen.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
And Benji says hello to you both.
Hi, Benji.
Hello, Benji. Welcome to the show. Do you have a question to follow that statement, or is it just a hello? If it is just a hello, that's fine.
James has a question for you, Luke. He says, if you were working in the warehouse, would you be the fastest, slowest, or average?
So I would probably be one of the slowest. And the reason is, I'm probably, as Jack said, I'm probably over the top with detail, which is really good in the manager role, because I can take my time and do things, but I'm not actually that quick, and they'll probably vouch for that as well. So yeah, I'd probably say one of the slower ones, but I wouldn't make many mistakes.
And do you think you could do it better than those? Dish the dirt, is what James says.
Oh wow.
Now, no, I'm confident. If I put my mind to anything, I think I would be very good at it. But now,
confident.
No. Yeah.
I think Luke is very competitive. I've actually played against you in football, and Luke is
you were on my side.
Yeah, we did well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke's very competitive. I remember I used to be in the warehouse, and I used to be awful. But my level of detail was bad. I remember sending like a whole So, because obviously I couldn't pack anymore. Beak used to work with Beak. We used to work out the big orders, and that was kind of how we used to understand that there was a bigger demand out there for B2B. So I remember I packed a whole. It was our black and tan case, our wallet case.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Yeah, I remember James and Beak spoke about it on.
Yeah. So they wanted green and tan, which is like an obvious green, like a lime green in your face green tan. They wanted 100, and I packed 100 black. So it's just. That's not even colorblind. That's just such a poor. Like, I was just not fit for the job. It's just like I had to explain to Beak. I was like, Beak, I've just sent 100 black instead of 100 green. She's like, how? I was like, I can't explain. Just my level of detail. I must have been thinking about something else, because that's where my mind goes sometimes. So just to give you a level, I think Luke and I are complete polar opposites of one another. But
Kelly would like to know, Luke, what is your favourite spreadsheet that you work from?
I'll probably have to go for my most useful one. I have a one that gives me all like the daily information, so it's got all like my warehouse costs on it, error rates, all my contact details. I have like one master sheet with like all the little tabs, so I say that's one I have open daily to keep control of everything. So that'd be my favourite one.
Wow, you were ready to answer as well. Fair play. Of course he was. Do you have any other burning questions?
James has said you two are so funny.
Yeah, no, James, thanks for the questions as well. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Kelly, as well. Thanks, James.
Good questions.
Yeah, they are good questions. I feel like the questions do help. They help just kind of mitigate the conversation, don't they? Just slightly. But we have to be prepared for them not to be questions. I guess for me as well, like another one. If I speak about it now, where else would you see in terms of like the next place where we go? What does that look like for you, and kind of what would be the stress from moving this to another operation? That to me is that's a burning question.
I think because we have discussed it already, obviously.
Yeah.
When it happens, we probably have to move everything in one weekend where there's no sales and there's no movement of the stock.
Yeah.
So I think we could move this whole warehouse in a weekend. And my initial thoughts would be we've got the map of where everything is now, so we'd probably move it like for like. So everything is in exactly location that we know it is.
Yeah.
And then from then we would then go and expand into the space
that we haven't done it yet.
Which we haven't got here. So we've got like the sea freight there, for example. We would then create a new sea freight location, and as we change it, we'd have somebody on the computer amending locations as we go. So probably look to change it like for like, or the only other option is we pre-plan we get all the locations and upload it as a file, and that's the two ways we would do it. So I haven't kind of decided yet.
Nice. Okay. Fine. Wow. Yeah. I'm glad. No, that's filled me with confidence. I remember. Will it be? Do you reckon we'll get sales involved to help?
Yeah, if you can drive the lorry for us.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I can drive the lorry. No, but I mean, I'm a great pair of hands. You know, I'm honest work. You know, I'll do my best. I'll try not to be it, but just don't put me to anything that's detail orientated.
No, I think
Use me for like the strength, maybe. I can help lift some boxes.
On that, actually, it's a really good question. James wants to know. He knows you're both health freaks. So, what are your morning routines?
Nice.
Start with that one.
My morning routine is I'm up in the morning, so around 5:30. I'm at the gym for about 10 to 6. In there for about an hour, and then I'll make my shake, which is we've got the mushrooms in there. Got my mushroom blend. Frozen blueberries. We got some spinach. We got some protein powder. We got some creatine. We got some coconut water, an avocado, a couple of bananas, and then that is my routine. So it's gym in the morning every morning, and then we'll go for a run on the weekend. At the moment, I'm currently like not drinking or anything like that, so I'm on a health kick. I'm also not vaping as well. I've stopped vaping. My 3rd day not vaping. I'm telling you, if I had hair, I'd be pulling that out. It's really tough. So 3rd day not doing that, and then and that's until Christmas. I'm just going to train flat out. So yeah, it's a big one for me until Christmas Day anyway.
Nice. So I get up at 6 o'clock every day. It's either weights for 30 or 40 minutes, or I'll do a 5K in the morning every day before work. Normally have 1 day off a week. I actually like to have the weekday off normally. So I normally go to the actual gym on a Saturday and Sunday, and then have like maybe a Monday or Friday off. 6 days a week doing that. I actually started fasting this year. From January this year, I eat from 12 o'clock till 8. My lunch has been well publicised by JLC, which is usually like chicken, lentils,
little and often,
nuts,
but like an array.
All kinds of stuff like that. As long as I get my protein and my fibre, I'm happy.
That's so funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
And Benji would like to know, what's your proudest achievement basically that you've done at JLC?
Oh, go on, you go. I got to think. If you can't, then I'll think something.
Well, I think it's obviously got to be the news this week for me getting put up to the ops director position. I said something. I said from the moment I set in, I said I want to get to the top and push myself and go as far as I can in the business. So I'd probably say for me getting that position now, 2.5 years in, is my best personal achievement.
Nice. I'd say the corporate side, the B2B. I was one of the first to pick up the phones. I trained all the guys basically here, everyone that started. The new guys, Harry and Josh, they've done really well. I feel like just my passion has just come through into the business. So I'd say like the business is my proudest achievement. Like everything here and everyone in the sales team as well. So that's probably one of them. It's been a hell of a journey. I guess you kind of you haven't been with us that long. It feels like you've been with us a lot longer.
Everyone here seems like everyone's been here like 6+ years. I'm like, I still feel like new a little bit.
Yeah.
But when you think like 2.5 years, a lot's happened.
Yeah. Barry's been here 10 years now.
Yeah, 10 years for Barry.
10 years
Was it 10 years yesterday? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Barry.
10 years. That's a crazy.
That's a good stretch.
Yeah, it's a big number. Yeah, 10 years. Who else have we got? So
Kelly, Mandy.
They've been
Beeks.
We keep forgetting Beat. Where is Beat today? Is she in today?
Yeah, she is.
She's floating around.
She's normally on the chat. Is she not on the chat?
She's on the chat today. No,
that's okay. What are we at in terms of minutes?
24 minutes now.
I mean, I reckon it's been a good show, and I reckon we can call it there. To be honest, if we haven't got any more questions.
No more questions at the moment.
And you're happy to call it off?
Yeah, happy. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, guys.